Hey, happy Monday, all you beautiful radio listeners. Thank you for dropping in for our little happy hour. We appreciate you listening. If you're watching on YouTube, here is a hand gesture just for you. Not sure I know what that means, but you're welcome. Feel free to hit us up on the chat if you are on the YouTubes. If you are not, use the fan text line 503-864-6326. That spells 503-2GO-FAN. We'd love to have you join the conversation, share your thoughts, ask any questions on any topic, or send lowercase notes in all caps. Is that a thing? Is that a thing that people can do? Casey, what's going on, man?
How we doing, Luke?
I'm fantastic. How was your weekend?
It was good.
Yeah?
Good.
What'd you get up to? Just sitting around watching football all weekend?
Well,
or did you do something?
I got Saturday off because the Ducks played on Friday. So
Yeah,
that
you
was
did.
the first Saturday I've had off in a while. And
Congratulations. No, they've had 2 bye weeks this season. Calm down.
Yeah, but I usually find myself busy on a Saturday.
Okay. So did you not watch any other college football?
I watched the Texas A&M South Carolina game. That's about it.
Okay. Yeah. I tried not to watch any, and I'm watching a little bit of college football at my brother's house, and I very quickly went, you know what?
I kind of have to ease myself into Saturdays just because I'm so diehard Steelers on Sundays that
Yeah, you got to balance it out. You got to balance it out. You got to pick and choose what you got going on.
Exactly.
We'll get some injury updates from you later on the Steelers quarterback. We'll go on all of that. We will reserve the announcement. There's quite a bit of enthusiasm for the aggressive Orange Otters from primetime last week, so I may save the update on what happened with the 8 and 9-year-old girls basketball game until the end of the show, because I'm sure they'll want to hear all about the aggressive Orange Otters. And today, a big day for the Twins. They're 9 years old today. My daughter's birthday today. So as soon as we get out of here, we'll wrap some things up around the office and then get home and celebrate turning 9. So
there you go. Happy birthday to the Twins.
Yeah, thank you. We did a big birthday party yesterday, and they got to hang out with all their friends. So tonight, just dinner with mom and dad. Get to go out. They got to pick the restaurant. It's a whole thing. Good times. Not as good a times. I'm not in the pick'em again. I stink at this thing. Did you actually fill yours out? I never see your name.
I saw it. I didn't see my name on the list, but I submitted it and everything.
If you don't get a bounce back, you didn't do it properly. So this is 2 weeks in a row that we've had you on a Thursday. You have failed to even get it in.
And I liked my picks last week, too.
Well, it'd be interesting to see what happens. But you are a huge disappointment, just so you know. So if you don't know what we're talking about, you're joining the show for the first time. Every Thursday, we play a little game we call Take Your Pick. It is an interactive pick'em. You can follow along with the Google form. We send it out every Tuesday or Wednesday, and then you can play along with us on Thursdays. Right now, as expected, the Monday night game will decide who the winner is. P1 Deal is in the lead right now. He's up by 1 game, and he has the Cowboys tonight. There are 2 people, a single spot behind him, that have the Raiders winning tonight. We have a listener, I believe, named Eric Olson. I mean, I know that's a name. I believe he listens. Or he could just be some random guy that got roped into this thing. The other person tied at 11 with the Raiders winning tonight, my mother. So we'll see what happens. If the Raiders wins, it comes down to a point. If the Cowboys win, Deal wins. It's very, very exciting. Please play along.
Am I the only one that's hoping that your mom's going to win?
No, I think I'm hoping that she wins.
Yeah, I kind of hope she wins.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I would like to know, because she and I have not sat down to talk about this. I have no idea what her strategy is. She might be sitting there listening to the show every day, taking notes, going, man, these guys, I think I know what they're doing. But if she was doing that, she's not picking the same picks I am. We don't know if she's picking the same picks you are, because I'm not going to go back and refill out the form for you just because you did it on air. So we don't know what you're doing.
Yep.
But we do know what happened. The most anticipated game, at least for this little program, was Seahawks and Rams. And this was on during, so we watched the first half at Big Al's during the Twins' birthday party. Trying to keep an eye on it, trying to watch it. This was a tough one to go in and out on. I mean, especially when it's a game 1 of game 2. They're going to play twice this season, so it's not the end-all, be-all. So I'm trying to keep an eye on it. I'm trying to make sure everybody has their game cards working and they're getting all of their pizza and their soft drinks and all the kids are having a good time and going back and forth on this. And every time you go to watch your team, if your quarterback throws a pick, it is less than ideal. I have taken the time to say that I do not trust Sam Darnold until he gives me a reason to trust him on this show. Not saying I don't like him as our quarterback. So far, he's been great during the season. There's no question about that. But when people start saying that he is the best quarterback in football, that's kind of where I started to push back. Is he an MVP candidate? He probably was before last weekend or this weekend. So I'm okay with people putting praise on him, but to automatically take a guy that had a very good season last year in the two biggest moments that he had, end of the season, playoffs, he looked terrible. So the Vikings have a chance to get a bye potentially last year. They play against the Lions at the end of the year, get absolutely beat up. The opening round playoff game that they moved to Arizona, remember, because of the fires, play against Los Angeles, absolutely get housed. He looks like he's seen the same ghosts that he did in New York, gets sacked, I think, 9 times. I reserve some judgment. Now, apparently, and I'm not trying to start any beef with anybody, but there's somebody that doesn't want me saying anything negative about their quarterback, and it's not somebody that I want to start a fight with. And I know that Ernest Jones listens to this show on a regular basis. So this is not me saying anything negative about the quarterback, because if you do, here's what Ernest thinks.
I mean, Sam's been balling. Like, if we want to try to define Sam by this game or what, man, Sam's had us in every game. So for him to sit there and say, oh, that's my fault. No, it's not. There was plays that defensively we could have made plays. There were opportunities where we could have got better stops. Yeah, I mean, like, it's football, man. And he's our quarterback. We got his back, and you got anything to say, quite frankly.
So those Seahawks sound effects in there to block out some profanity there. But I think you get the message. He does not want you talking anything against his quarterback. Fair. I get that. What I really appreciate is how many of the previous couple quarterbacks that the Seahawks have had would get that same kind of respect from the defense. On his way out, Russell Wilson definitely did not have the defense on his side. That was pretty well documented that he had lost the locker room. And that was not a guy that people were ready to go to war with. That's why he was on the outs. Geno Smith, as far as I know, got punched in the face a second time by a teammate when he was in Seattle. He got his jaw broken when he was in New York. Sam Darnold has the team support. That, to me, right now is enough. That was a bad game that he played yesterday, but they were 161-yard field goal away from winning the game at the end despite 4 interceptions.
Is this the most backing that a quarterback has had in Seattle since Hasselbeck?
It probably is. I mean, I don't know what the relationship was with Tavares Jackson, but it was Hasselbeck to T-Jack to Russell Wilson. Matt Flynn came in as a guy they were getting paid, didn't even start a game, I don't think. So, yeah, there has not been a guy that has commanded the respect of his teammates. It feels like probably right since Hasselbeck. And that was a dude that was humble, took him to a Super Bowl, was really good for a really long time. I think guys like Seneca Wallace maybe, but he was a spot starter at best. So you're probably right. What I do like about this is where it's at in the season. This was the first big test for Sam Darnold. Did it go great? No. Does he get another shot? Yeah, he gets another shot against the Rams. He gets another shot against whomever for whatever. Right now, they're securely in a playoff spot. Unless they absolutely fall apart, they should be just fine. Seahawks' next game is against the Titans. Feeling pretty good about that?
I would.
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't. They're going to have a bounce back opportunity. We talked about this, I think you and I talked about this a little bit last week, and it's something that I've said over and over again. Young quarterbacks tend to do well in this league when they don't have to do it all by themselves. There's probably a lot of feeling in Sam Darnold that he's had to do it by himself. Certainly when he was in New York, I don't think he had the backing of his team. He didn't have a good support system around him. He didn't have any of those things.
Anderson was his number 1 wide receiver.
There you go. Then he goes to Carolina, where he's not the guy, so he has really no team support. Then he goes to San Francisco, where he's a designated backup. There's no reason for him to leapfrog Brock Purdy, who came back yesterday and looked fantastic.
But he has all the support to try to develop as a passer in an offense.
Sure, but Joey Harrington, I was filling in with Isaac Orsuk. I can't remember who it was, but we were talking with Joey Harrington doing the regular Friday interview. And he said after he left Detroit, his confidence was shot. He just wanted an opportunity to go and be a backup. And I can't remember the path. I think he went from Detroit to Miami, where he was supposed to back up Dante Culpepper. Culpepper's knee immediately got shot. Then Joey gets thrown into an immediate starting role. After that, I think he went to Atlanta, where he's supposed to back up Michael Vick, and Michael Vick got thrown in prison for dogfighting. I believe that was the pattern. And then you never have a chance to sit and learn behind somebody. You never get a chance to kind of go and rebuild your confidence. You never get the opportunity to get another shot to be the starter. Well, Sam Darnold got all of that. He got to sit behind Brock Purdy. He got to figure out kind of what he expected to be. He got to see an offense that was running well. He got to play with a coach that was offense first. All of those things set him up for a good opportunity to go into Minnesota. And it went relatively well until he started putting too much pressure on himself. And then it kind of collapsed a little bit at the end of the year. Minnesota obviously didn't show the institutional confidence in him to re-sign him. They let him go. They also let Daniel Jones go. So whatever Minnesota saw in J.J. McCarthy, I will never know. That two guys that have been, at least, may not be at the end of the year, but have been talked about as MVP candidates were both on that roster. And now you're getting very questionable quarterback play. Now from J.J. McCarthy, before that from Carson Wentz, before that J.J. McCarthy again. So you had two guys that were great. So I don't know what Minnesota sees in it, but I like the team coming out and going, hey, Sam's our guy. I love what Ernest Jones said. Now you've got a few weeks here where you can go and have some bounce back weeks if you're Seattle, because you don't really have another game that's, I think, going to be a challenge until you get to the Colts on December 14th. So you've got Titans, Vikings, Falcons. Falcons just lost Penix for the rest of the year. Vikings, and, of course, the Titans are the only one-win team in football. So you've got the Colts on a Sunday, then you've got the Rams on a Thursday on the 18th. Got time. Got time to get it back rolling. And the next time you go into one of these fights, you know that you don't have to do it all by yourself. Those felt like hero throws. Like at least the first couple interceptions.
Yeah,
even the last one, he's doing a jump throw. They felt like he was trying to win it in one throw, and you can't do that.
Yeah, the one to JSN definitely felt like a forced one against the sideline. DB made a great play.
Well, the first one it was into the middle of the field trying to get it to Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp on a curl route.
Backpedal, chuck it up into the middle, bad. Late to the sideline and short, bad. The little jump one at the end, I'm trying to remember what the third one is off the top of my head, but either way, if you realize that all you have to do is eliminate probably one of those mistakes, and you win that game, I think it builds confidence going into the next opportunity.
I think so, too. If you look at his 2024 stats, he doesn't have a crazy drop-off. He has 2 losses in the middle of the season to Detroit and L.A.
Good teams.
Where he puts up 20 points.
Yeah.
But then he still goes down and gets 9 straight wins up until they played Detroit in the playoffs.
No, they were rocking.
And Detroit was, the number 1 team out of the NFC?
Yep. Well, but that game was for the number 1 spot.
Yeah.
So that was the not stepping up in the big moment that I think Seahawks fans like myself a little bit worried about.
Yep. And I think this is going to allow him to bounce back.
I think it has to. I mean, I don't think that much better for it to happen now than to get to a playoff opportunity or something like that, and then get a little adversity. So you have to go through it. But being on a team that has a defense as good as the Seahawks defense was, I mean, they gave up some big runs to Kyren Williams early in the game, but I think they bounced back pretty well from that. They figured things out. To have a chance to win when your quarterback throws 4 interceptions means you have a pretty special defense.
Special. Very special.
And that's a really good Rams team. And they blitzed a lot. They kind of switched things up, and they're like, yeah, for Matthew Stafford, we'll blitz a lot. They had one of the lowest blitz rates in the NFL because they didn't need one. When you're winning games by 20 points the last couple of weeks, for sure, you don't need to blitz a ton. You get Matthew Stafford, yeah, let's make him a little uncomfortable.
Let's bring the heat.
Yeah, and it worked. I liked it. Should we do some In Case You Missed It? In case you missed it, the viral phrase 6'7" has permeated college basketball and the sports world, prompting teams and their fans to celebrate when their score reaches 67 points. Luckily, less than a third of college basketball games have a combined score of 67, so could be a lot worse. 6'7" is great if you have 2 9-year-olds. They are now doing 6'7" in Espanol. Oh, so they're learning other languages. They're trying to figure out how to do it in German and Japanese this morning. So it's a global trend that is teaching the kids to expand their minds. And I for one, absolutely love it. So keep it rolling.
It's taking over.
Keep it rolling, popular. And there's nothing better than it's just like when you were a kid. If you let the bully know it bothers you, they will keep doing it. if we let these kids know that we hate it, they will keep doing it forever. So just embrace it. It will go away eventually. Just calm down.
The fact that I had to explain the 24-25 joke, the SpongeBob joke to my parents growing up so many times, it's exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like dad jokes. Dad jokes are not meant to be funny. They're meant to irritate your children.
Exactly.
Memes and things that catch on like this for your children are meant to do the same thing to us. Yeah. I did go back and I was trying to explain to them, you probably don't even know the song. You're probably too young to remember. Do you remember the song Fire, Water, Burn?
No.
So one of the counters to 6-7 is people finding other numerical sequences in songs and playing those back 1, 2, 3 into the 4s, that type of thing. And the one I brought up, because my wife was reading all of these off the internet, and I go, I believe if God is 5 and the devil is 6, then that must make me 7. This honky's gone to heaven. It's a whole. Go listen to Fire, Water,
I'll
Burn.
have to hear it.
Hey, listen. Nobody in my household had any idea what I was talking about. I hope somebody listening has at least a little bit of a clue, but that's as close as I can get to 6-7. All right, I digress. In case you missed it, the Portland Trail Blazers lost 138-133 in overtime to the Dallas Mavericks. Not very often the Mavericks are center stage on a Sunday during football season, but since the Cowboys are playing on Monday night, it was really weird for Dallas sports fans to have to come up with another reason not to watch the Mavericks. Just...
I think they really hate Richard and that burn is going to burn for a year or so.
Well, they do have Cooper Flag, so if he does he had a nice little second half in last night's game, so listen, once he starts doing something, people start to pay attention. But let's be honest, Victor Wembanyama didn't win a lot of games his rookie year. Could be 4 or 5 years before Cooper Flag is taking this team to the playoffs. In case you missed it, rookie Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders made a rough regular season debut after Dylan Gabriel's concussion, completing 4 of 16 passes in a 23-16 loss to the Baltimore Ravens. He's getting ripped for a terrible performance, but remember, it's really 5 completion if you count the one that he threw to the other team. So come on, let's give the guy...
He plays for the Browns.
Was it a good pass? No, but it was a catchable ball. And for him, come on. In case you missed it, the Eagles' defense led them to a 16-9 victory over the Lions, although a controversial late pass interference call helped Philadelphia run out the clock. You know a team is tough to watch when the referees are doing everything they can to end the game, too, right? That makes it tough. And finally, in case you missed it, the 49ers dominated the Cardinals 41-22 as quarterback Brock Purdy returned to form, overshadowing Cardinals backup Jacoby Brissett, who set an NFL record for the most completions in a single game. Also overshadowing the record was the fact that the team got their ass kicked. Is that something that we can... Can I just assume... I don't even know if this is true. Can I just assume that's a Dak Prescott record? Like... He has to hold it. It's got to be somebody that was losing the whole game and just chuck.
I want to say it was Big Ben.
Oh, well, there you go. What's the result of that game? I'm not looking at that. All right, well, you look that up. We will get you that answer in the buzz at 2:30. We will do Tape Don't Lie, where Casey is going to play back for me all the stupid things that I have said, and I will defend myself, deny, or deflect on those statements. But right now, you got it? You look ready.
Record was previously set and held by Drew Bledsoe and Jared Goff.
Oh, all right. We're both wrong. Right now, we need to get to the Daily Buzz. We do it next on 105.1 The Fan.
The
Seattle Mariners showed their commitment to contention by signing Josh Naylor. Let's go. Reports are 5 years. I heard the number $98 million. Thank you for that. But I have yet to see that number in print. I have heard anywhere from $90 to $100 million, but that sure's up. The first baseman will be there for at least the foreseeable future. This is a guy they picked up a week before the trade deadline. He hit over 300 down the stretch, would have most likely been the American League Championship Series MVP had the Mariners won the series against the Blue Jays. Unfortunately, fell in 7 games. But not Josh Naylor, the wildest thing about him, he comes over and he's a base running maven. He just gets out there, and not only did he steal 20 bases in 40-some games with the Seattle Mariners, 0 caught stealing. He had 10 stolen bases the entire 94 games that he played with the Arizona Diamondbacks. So this is just a guy that was a good fit, loves hitting at T-Mobile. Anytime somebody shows up and says that they love hitting at T-Mobile and actually does it, just sign them right then and there.
Just give him the money.
That's what you should do. So it sounds like they did. The agent and the people that work for Josh Naylor went and did their due diligence. According to the reports, they went and talked to the teams that are probably in the market for a first baseman in New York and Boston and wherever else, and then came back and went, you know what? I think we like it in Seattle. So this is fantastic. First big signing of the offseason in Major League Baseball. So we'll see if other dominoes start to fall. But I, for one, very excited. We updated the sounder for the buzz. You ready for it?
I'm with it.
Yeah.
The Buzz.
You like that?
I do.
Yeah, you do.
It's got a little jazz to it.
That's right. It's a little disco funk to it is what I was going for. But the Seahawks fall 21-19. That ends Seattle's 10-game road winning streak. 4 interceptions for Sam Darnold, obviously not great. The Seahawks outgained the Rams 414 yards to just 249. Seattle was 1 of 23 when finishing -3 or worse in the turnover margin with their new head coach. So listen, you're not going to win a whole lot of games if you give it away that many times. Puka Nacua was talking trash to Sam Darnold afterwards, referencing the Seeing Ghosts reference, and then we already played it, but Ernest Jones came out and said, if you've got something to say against my quarterback, the word started with the letter F.
Keep my quarterback's name out your mouth.
A little bit of that, but tough one for the Seahawks. They will get to play the Rams again when they get into the holiday season. December 18th, Thursday Night Football will be the second matchup between these teams. That one in Lumen Field.
The Buzz.
We already mentioned it. The Trailblazers fall to the Mavericks overtime, 138-133. Shaden Sharp, another good game, though. Season high, 36 points. You go to overtime. You're playing well, but man, they need to start playing some defense. I don't know what happened with the defense that we were seeing at the beginning of the season. Maybe it's just that fatigue getting there. Drew Holiday was out. You get the first start of the year by Jeremy Grant. But the Mavericks do come out victorious. That drops the Portland Trail Blazers to 6-7 on the season. Their next game will be at home
against Phoenix. Tomorrow at 8.
There you go. I knew it was tomorrow. I knew it was at home. Very easy to forget the Suns.
The Buzz.
All right, where else do we go in the National Football League? Good one between Buffalo and Tampa Bay for most of the game until Josh Allen said, nope, no thanks. I'm just going to go out, get 3 on the ground, 3 in the air. You come off of a loss to the Miami Dolphins, you better be mad.
Yeah.
And that's really what it looked like. For most of that,
he sent a message.
Yeah, for most of that game, it looked like it was pretty close, kind of going back and forth. It's a high-scoring affair. And he said, yeah, nope, I'm just going to take this team, throw them on my back. Baker and the Bucs fall still right in the thick of things. They're leading their division. The Carolina Panthers get a win last night, so they're in the mix as well. But I think it's going to be Tampa Bay running away with that division. But the Bills needed that win a lot more because they got to keep pace with the Patriots, man. That team is...
The Patriots are moving.
They are for real. And I mean, not something that I necessarily you would say is scary by any stretch of the imagination what they're doing, because it's not a team that we've seen. We haven't seen Drake May in the playoffs. Vrabel is the guy that has me kind of encouraged for this team. But remember, he brought the Titans to a number 1 seed with Ryan Tannehill, and they did nothing. There are so many teams in the AFC that feel like if they get another shot, they're going to be hard to beat in the playoffs. That Buffalo team that we saw yesterday is one of those teams.
How much credit do we need to start giving Stephon Diggs for the performances that he's letting these quarterbacks have while he's on the roster?
Well, I mean, he's a monster. There's a lot of receivers that are doing that. I mean, we were talking about Justin Jefferson last week a little bit, and I think you didn't give him the confidence vote that he would be out there and doing anything with JJ McCarthy. But he's had like 6 different quarterbacks to start his career and has all-time numbers.
Well,
so
Stephon Diggs was the leading receiver on that Buffalo Bills team, and then now he's the leading receiver on this Patriots
yeah, but where
team.
was he last year? Texans? Or was that 2 years ago?
Texans last year.
But didn't do anything there, and then bounces back. Hey, I mean, I don't disagree.
Did the Texans not go to a divisional game?
I mean, suppose they did, but was he near the top of the league? I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's always been around.
All right. I just see Stephon Diggs as one of those guys that is never content. That's why he keeps moving around. But at the same time, I mean, I certainly saw his highlights yesterday and just kind of went, oh, yeah, that guy's an absolute stud. And meanwhile, off the field, he's also playing like an all-star. No, that's not right.
Yeah, a little bit.
You'll give him credit for that. Dolphins get it. Oh, wait, I got to hit my new sounder.
The Buzz.
Dolphins get back-to-back wins by beating the Commanders in the first NFL game ever played in Madrid. We will address the Dolphins earlier, but the Commanders starting to look very concerning. We will hit some of the other games around the NFL when we get to our tape Don't Lie. But at the moment, we need to walk over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. See what we missed.
This sports update is brought to you by Reynolds Defense Firm. If you've been arrested for a DUI, you need a team of attorneys that you can put your trust into. Call Reynolds Defense Firm today. Online at reynoldsdefensefirm.com. First on the fan, today, November 17th, is National Butter and Homemade Bread Day. That got me thinking.
Homemade butter and homemade bread, or just any butter with homemade bread?
National Butter Day and Homemade Bread Day.
Oh, it's 2 separate days.
Same day, but 2 separate events.
Yes, I know today is one day. I know that today is not 2 days simultaneously. We don't have parallel universes, but they're 2 separate holidays celebrated on the same day. Now, is this a quirky one where it's like they only line up like on every 15th year or whatever? One's on the Greek calendar, one's on the Roman calendar.
I don't
something
know.
Like that.
When it comes to food, I think they got to just be on the same calendar. Am I right?
I don't know. Easter bounces around. Thanksgiving's always on the last Thursday of November. I don't know how this works. I'm asking you. You're supposed to be the expert.
Either way, this got me thinking about the term of people saying, that's my bread and butter.
Oh, yeah.
What is your bread and butter?
I'll be honest. All I'm thinking about right now is my mom makes some killer homemade bread. She's got multiple recipes, and you get her sourdough. She'll make it with jalapenos and bacon right in it.
Ooh.
And then you mix up she'll do like a garlic butter or just kind of whip some butter with a little extra accoutrement. And all I'm thinking about right now is bread and butter. So it's not mine, but my mom's bread and butter might be bread and butter.
I might be with you. Good. My girl just brought home a large thing of sourdough because she has a friend who works at a bakery.
Yeah.
So I know what I'm doing when I get home.
All right. Well, there you go. I will. Well, maybe mom's listening right now, but if I don't get a chance to see her, I know that we'll have Thanksgiving dinner coming up soon, and I'm confident there will be homemade bread and butter.
Well, there you go. For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the Fan Happy Hour. Where Luke answers for the dumbest things he said last week.
Wasn't he the white Jordan?
He is black.
Good luck, man.
Thank you. I'm a genius. This will be one of the worst seasons of football you will ever see, and it will be the Miami Dolphins. I don't know if Mike McDaniels makes it to, I don't know, week 8. They lose this week, they lose next week, they lose the week after that. They lose, how many games? They lose 19 this year.
Okay, Luke, sir, we went way back in the time machine for this one. You predicted Miami would fire their coach by week 8 on the way to a winless season. You were almost kind of right, because after a 1-6 start, many people thought Mike McDaniels would be fired. Instead, the Dolphins chose to fire their GM, Chris Grier, and they said that they would wait until the end of the season to fire McDaniel. Miami Mike and his Fins have now won 3 of the last 4. Is there any chance we get to the end of the season and the Dolphins keep the biracial angel?
You know what? I would be pleasantly surprised if they did. That would be quite the turn of events, wouldn't it? Right now, they're sitting at 4-7. They are 11th in the AFC. They would have to somehow knock a team out of the playoffs. The team at the bottom right now is the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're right behind the Chargers, who they whooped up on this weekend. But you'd have to leapfrog some combination of Houston, Kansas City, and Baltimore. I don't know if that's possible that they can do that. But somehow the Tennessee Titans are not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. So that means technically anything can happen. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be kind of rooting for the Dolphins. Do I think it will happen? Absolutely not. But I want Mike McDaniels to finish on an absolute heater and then come into next year as Super Bowl favorites. Let's go.
Biracial angel.
Yeah, I love Mike McDaniel. He's quarter black like I am. He's my biracial angel. I wish nothing but the best.
All right, I'm rooting for both of you. If you're looking for a guy that is going to be the first of this new batch of head coaches to disappear, it's usually the one that's the loudest, or the one that we're seeing the most of. Not a great look for this guy. So, just a pattern that I've been recognized. So, if you are a Bears fan, congratulations, you picked the wrong quarterback, followed up by picking the wrong head coach. Again.
Luke Orama, another one from the start of the NFL season. They're telling Bears fans that not only did you guys have the wrong coach, but the wrong QB. After starting 2-0 and the Monsters of the Midway...
0-2.
Oh, sorry, 0-2. The Monsters of the Midway are now 7-3 and sitting in first place in the NFC North. Are you finally willing to accept the fact that the Bears might be a good football team?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I kind of have to be. I did make the proclamation last week that the Bears would win, and by beating the Vikings, I would have to accept that they are a good team. I'm not going to lie. The beginning of the year was a very rough start for Ben Johnson. It seemed like every week, and that's what this clip comes from, is there was another comment about how he didn't like how they were performing in practice. He didn't like what they were doing in the preseason. He was the number one coach in every single headline, and that scared me. Can you tell me the last time you heard a headline or saw a headline that included Ben Johnson's name? He has been quiet. They have been good. Caleb Williams has played well. They're beating the teams that they're supposed to beat, and those are all hallmarks of a good team. I am actually kind of excited to see the way that this division comes down. Some of the losses that we've seen for the Lions and the Packers have been bewildering. And last night you had a game between the Lions and the Eagles where the Lions had a chance to go out and make a statement and did not. They failed to do it. Few field goals, and that was about it. So I'm looking at this and going, now you got to beat the Bears. So I would put them as my favorite to win the North. That's how good I think they can be.
Yeah, I think Caleb Williams is playing fantastic. The big knock on every, team with a young quarterback is, can this young quarterback play up to the par that NFL quarterbacks play? Caleb Williams is playing pretty lights out.
They had 4 offensive coordinators and 2-3 head coaches because they had an interim. So, yeah, let's go. I think the Bengals are going to come out. The idea of having Joe Burrow back in practice is going to invigorate this team if they can get him back by Thanksgiving. You have a 3-team race coming down the stretch. It's me rooting for chaos as much as anything else. And looking at Casey's face, I know I made the right decision because even he doesn't have faith in the Steelers wearing his stupid Steelers parka, starter jacket, whatever it is.
Not only did you disrespect my Steelers, you hyped up a player who wasn't playing.
No, what I said is they would get the bump from Burrow returning to practice, going, hey, we win these too. He's back by Thanksgiving. We got a shot. So I'm dumb. Not that dumb. Okay, go ahead.
How do we feel my Steelers came to play? And, well, will Joe Burrow ever come back the way that this Cincinnati team is looking?
I'm sure that he'll come back. He's a constant competitor. And to be quite honest, I will stand by that statement. I will always root for these division races to just get ugly, especially that division. I do not have a team that I think I can honestly say that I've ever rooted for a long period of time. Like, I don't have a favorite team between Browns, Bengals, Steelers, and Ravens. The Bengals have the coolest uniform, but they have the worst organization. They probably have my favorite quarterback in that division for now, but they have the worst defense in that division forever. They, might be Boomer Esiason. They might have my favorite history, but they also have the worst history because they have these long stretches where they're terrible. They have to use each other's towels and whatever all the stories are of the organization just being awful. The Steelers are probably the most consistent team in NFL history. 3 head coaches in their entire tenure. Mike Tomlin does not have a losing record ever. They're all great, but I hate the Steelers. They have a great history. Still hate the Steelers. Browns, Ravens are the same franchise. They literally merged from the same goo. The whole thing is awful. What I will say is if it can come down to it where all 4 teams are in at the end, that's entertaining. So I apologize for nothing.
I was out last week, but again, just like Steeler fandom, I'm all back in again.
Coming off of a bye, do you know what Andy Reid's record is?
Is he undefeated? Or is he like
22-4.
Wow.
Even more dominant when the team he's playing is not coming off of a bye, which is the case for the Broncos. He is 21-2 in those scenarios. This is as close to a must-win as you can have for the Chiefs at this point in the season. So they have to go out and win, and I think they do. I think they go out and roll. We both picked the Raiders to beat the Broncos last week, and it didn't come to fruition. I will put all my chips in with the Chiefs, and I think they'll be just fine.
I think I have to go with Denver on this one.
Oh, shut up.
I think I feel a little bit better about my Denver pick now.
Well, yeah, because you got it correct. You're so smart.
Yeah, but you said this was a must-win for the Chiefs.
I
picked the Broncos.
Yeah.
But what's the likelihood of the Chiefs missing the playoffs?
So Chiefs are playing at home against the Colts, next week. They have a game at the Cowboys for Thanksgiving. Texans, Chargers, Titans, Broncos again, and Raiders. I'm counting 3 more potential losses in there, maybe 4. Cowboys doing something weird on Thanksgiving. But Colts is going to be a tough game. Chargers, Broncos, and who knows how this thing ends up. But they might be the best team not to make the playoffs this year. I already went through the standings in the AFC, and you've got the Texans sitting even with you, the Ravens, who are an ascending team that are probably going to make it in. You need Jacksonville, Los Angeles Chargers, the Buffalo Bills, or the Steelers to fall out of favor to get back in. There's a long way to go, but you're 5-5, and getting to 9 wins doesn't give you a good shot at the playoffs. Getting to 10 wins doesn't get you in. Seahawks finished 10-7 last year and were on the outside looking in. So I'm going to say right now, even if you go 5-2, I think you're probably on the outside looking in as the Chiefs. So I will right now, which I'll probably have to listen to this later in the year, I will say the Chiefs do not make the playoffs.
All right.
I would expect a battle that comes down to the wire because that's the way the Eagles play. They're hosting the Detroit Lions, but I feel like if the Lions have it their way, they're going to go out, pick a fight, try to get as many points as they can as fast as they can. I'm going to take the Lions in this one. I just trust them a little bit more than the Eagles, but this is probably because I am not very smart.
Well, the Lions did not have it their way.
They did not.
A lot of field goals in this one, but A.J. Brown did have himself a season-high 7 receptions on 11 targets.
So happy for him.
Did we blow his comments out of proportion? Or
He
were
does
we
this
right on the
all.
money?
He does this all the time. He just whines and moans, and then he has a good game. Then he won't get the ball enough next week. Here's what I've decided. I don't know the last time I didn't watch the Super Bowl. We've hosted the Super Bowl for probably 10 years. If it's Broncos Eagles, I might have to just skip the whole game.
I might be
Maybe
out
I'll
too.
just watch. Maybe I'll just watch the halftime show. They're the least entertaining teams out there, and it's probably collision course. The Eagles are just every time I watch them, I just hate them so much. And then I watch the Broncos, and I can't stand them. And it's inevitable that'll probably happen. It'll be Jalen Hurts against Bo Nix, and then I don't know what that means for prospecting and looking at. We need a guy like Bo Nix and Jalen Hurts, who both got drafted, and everybody said they'd be terrible, and here they are leading their teams to the best records in football on their respective conferences.
In a very low-scoring Super Bowl, I'd
Yeah,
say.
it'll be 6-6. It'll be like a throwback to the Patriots days when what was it against the Rams? Was it 13-7 or was it that high score?
17-13, something like that?
Whatever. It's gonna be
13-10.
It's gonna be miserable. All right, we need to do one more for the road. We do it next. You are listening to Happy Hour on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network. All right, Casey, what are the people saying on the text, toy, and YouTube chats?
Says the Blazers defense has disappeared just like Chauncey.
Oh, shots fired. We know where he's at, right? Isn't he under house arrest?
Probably.
Yeah, come on. They're keeping a close eye on. If anybody hasn't disappeared, it's Chauncey Billups. That we would have heard about. But
They're making sure he stays.
But yes, their defense does need some work. I will not disagree with that. But yeah, my betting sources tell me that Chauncey's not going anywhere. Is that fair?
Last week you were discussing AI music and whether it would make created human music obsolete. Someone was saying, I was thinking about paintings before photography was invented. When photography was invented, the painters probably worried that pictures were never going to be painted again, even though photography is just much clearer and more realistic than paintings. Some people prefer paintings, and the art hasn't suffered.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't follow painting that well, but one thing that I will say about this, like any time that we worry any emerging technology is going to take over everything, it's all engineered by people for people to use. Will it eliminate some jobs and some elements? Apparently there's a country song that is climbing the charts that is AI created. I don't know what that song is. I haven't heard it. I couldn't tell you anything about it. But one thing that I often think about I wish I could tell you where I read it because I can never, I'm terrible at keeping track of where I hear things, but talking about how some of the most difficult, most challenging jobs, when they become obsolete, they actually turn into hobbies and leisure activities. So think of fishing and hunting. Once upon a time, like the most dangerous and the most vital jobs for a community, especially with hunters and gatherers and whatever. And we've evolved beyond the point where now there are hundreds of thousands of people that go fishing and hunting for fun and pay money for the opportunity to do it. It's well regulated, and you have all of these different chances to go out and make it more difficult for yourself. And there's people that fly fish and archery hunt and do it just as a way to kill time. And when you had to go and actually fish and, fight the seas and go out and hunt and fight Mother Nature, it was probably not anywhere near a leisure activity. So people will still create music because it's fun. They will find a way to do it. There's plenty of musicians out there that they're doing it for no other reason than they
just
love
to
it.
make it.
So that's I don't think any of this stuff is going to go away. Yes, it will replace it in some commercial aspects, but you also won't have those people that go, "I need you to write 100 songs today because we need them for the mix of music that we have." Oh no, we need to get to one more. All right, we need to get our one more for the road in. Oh, I hit the wrong one. Damn it. Aggressive Orange Otters with a big win over the weekend. I want to complain about and thank all of the kids and the parents on the team. They've made me recommit to coaching these kids. We're going to try to bring back the same team when we get to the spring. They have been awesome. Nice win for the kids. So much fun to watch. Just so much fun to see how much they've grown. They've played 6 games, one more game next week, but I will be out the week of Thanksgiving, so I wanted to thank everybody. Now, thank you, everybody, for listening to the show. Thank you, Casey, for filling in for Rust. He's back tomorrow. And as always, thank you, Isaac Ropp. We're all done for now. Bye-bye.
Forget about your scene. Give the audience a grin. Enjoy it. It's your last chance anyhow. So always look on the bright.
This is Rick Jones of Goldberg.